Hello, everybody, and welcome to the event review for the upcoming event Nidal Heroes. This would be for the week of January the 10th, 2025. And it's not a huge week this week, but there's a couple interesting things. So to start with, we've got a card clash of illusion, which just looks to be a normal card clash, which is always nice, but nothing really to talk about here. The contractual strategy this time around is Realmsgate Corruption, which I think is what it did last time. Yeah, I honestly, they bounce this around so much I can never really remember. For experienced players, it's all the same either way. You get 600 contract starry gems, but for newer players, it can be different. I think this one isn't too bad, but be aware. The more relevant thing for most people, though, is the Soul Awakening Gala, and this one does come with a session. So if you remember last time we had one of these, there was no session attached and not the greatest rewards for the Gala part. So I said if you were one of the folks who had stocked up on stones at Black Friday, that you might want to wait for a session, and this is probably what you were waiting for, because it looks to be basically the same as the last one was, except that you also get a B-Stone. And it's a Soulbound B-Stone, which actually, I think the last time in a session it was B-, but account linked, and this time it's B and Soulbound, which I think overall is a better deal. But yeah, that's there, and it's something we weren't getting if we'd done this last time, so I do think that this is a better choice in this case. And I do find it interesting how I thought that the account linked stuff was going to go away after they brought in Soulbound. It seemed like it just took over entirely, but it seems like for the less populated servers, because like if you're on the main Android iOS category, you're just always getting this column. The top players, like there'll be individual players who have more than 20,000 points. So the top 10 getting to 20,000 is not difficult. But for the less populated servers, your Amazons or whatever, the ones that don't have a lot of players, they seem to still be using the account linked but not soulbound. So a little bit surprising, but fair enough. And that sort of tapers down as the server gets more active. They have to worry less about bots, which makes sense, but it's interesting to see. Anyway, that's that. Starlight Melody is back, and I do think they've made this a little bit worse. I think it was usually 7 points before, now it's 6. That's a little bit unfortunate. But you do have the same basic mechanics. And yeah, the best multiplier you can get is ×6, as we'll see in a minute. And the base points you max out at 1,500, so you can get up to 9,000, which means you can get up to 6 of these, 2 of these, and only 1 of these. But you can get one of these at ×4 instead of ×6. So if you want those festival treasures, because that's what these ones are, is the festival treasures, probably from any year. So that really awesome 2023 stuff is available. But if you want that, you can get it with just the ×4. And I'm going to scroll ahead to the Moonlight Gift, because that's where it is. You get ×2 for spending $100, ×4 for spending $200, and ×6 for spending $300. So yeah, that is to keep in mind as we're looking at this in terms of what it is. So you can get one of these for free, but you can get 2 of them for 100, 4 of them plus 1 of each of these for 200, and 6, 2, and 1 if you spend 300, plus a million of these guys, of course. Yeah, that's most of it, because like this is the treasury, and treasury's nice, but we've seen it many times before, so I'm not gonna dwell on it to any great extent. And the Moonlight Gift we just looked at. Yeah, it's a Moonlight Gift. There's some nice things in here, but it's nothing really crazy. It's Moonlight Gift is always a throw-in. It's if you're gonna be spending anyway, this makes it a little bit nicer. Great. But I don't think there's really much this week to spend on, so I probably wouldn't go heavy into this. Like I go through what your options are on things like this for completion, but I don't think 100, 200, 300 bucks on this is a good spend. At least not for most people. There might be some niche somewhere where it makes sense, but I don't think it's a good bet in general. So I'd probably do this one free to play. But if you are really wanting to go ham on the session or something, it's there. Floor's Picnic is here. You can buy this twice at $100 a pop, and cool. It's not that great. It's like better than just buying the Starry Gem pack, but it's not that great. And the value packs are, again, pretty weak this time. So maybe like one of these to get yourself to the next highest reward tier makes sense, but other than that, I wouldn't go too deep into it. And yeah, that's the event. So it's a pretty quiet event. The session is here, which is nice. You can cash in all those stones you've probably been saving up for a month and a half now and get something good out of them, which is always appreciated. But It's not a big spender week. Remember, the Chinese New Year is in, I believe, 2 weeks. So we won't be seeing anything huge next week. That'll probably also be more or less a filler week. But 2 weeks from now is going to be a big one. So keep that in mind when you're planning out your spending. And with that, that's about all I've got to say for this time. So have a good one, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.